that update, and Shadrach Miti will also be telling us on some of the reforms that we expect to see in the Ministry of Lands. Thank you very much once again for joining us. My name is Akisa Wandera. Now, voters in Kitui West constituency are back to the ballot to elect a new member of parliament in the first by-election of the 12th parliament. 5 candidates who hope to fill the seat that fell vacant following the death of Francis Nyenze wound up their campaigns on Friday. The constituency has 52,042 registered voters. Stakes were significantly lowered when the 2 main coalitions, the National Super Alliance and Jubilee, decided to back the same candidate. Our political affairs reporter Murimi Mwangi is keeping an eye on this by-election. He joins us live from Kitui West constituency with an update. Murimi, so far, how is the voter turnout in the various polling stations?
Good afternoon, Akisa. Well, it has been a low-key by-election, going by the numbers of those that we have been able to spot in the various polling stations that we have been visiting for the better part of the morning hours. Remember, from the time the polling stations opened at 6, the highest figure that I have spotted in terms of turnout is that of 22% in only one of the polling stations. Initially, one of the reasons that was predominantly being given for the low numbers was the weather. It was raining for the better part of last night and early morning. But even with this scorching sun, the numbers are still too low. I mean, one of the polling stations just next to Kabati town, Kawui Primary School, with 5 streams, and let's just get to hear the numbers in terms of how they have been from morning hours up until now, and perhaps get to hear from the presiding officer in one of the streams why the numbers are as low as they are. Thank you so much for joining us. Perhaps how have your numbers been in your streams, because we realize that the numbers appear to be too low in most of the polling stations that we have visited.
Okay, thank you. This is Kaui Police Station 01. The voters who are registered in this station are 572. Then at 9 a.m. there were 39 voters, that is 6.8%. Then at 11 a.m. there were 76 voters, that is 13.3%. Now at 1 p.m. only 100 voters who have attended, who have voted. That is just 17.5%.
And when you talk to residents here, what do they tell you as the main cause for the low numbers that have been realized in most of the streams here?
Okay, just as I've said, we have a problem of weather. It was raining in the morning. Today is also a market day, so people maybe are just waiting in the evening to come and vote. And now in Kenya, people just want to rush the last minute. Then probably this is that time these people are voting. Bear in mind, from August, then October, then now again in March. The people are just tired in voting. But so far so good.
But besides that, have you had any incidents of anomalies, perhaps technology failure in your stream?
Just the small hitches, but they are okay now.
Which small hitches?
Maybe the old people. Sometimes the teams cannot identify them. But after maybe rubbing their fingers, they're able to be identified at long last.
No, thank you so much. We'll keep talking as the process continues. Very low numbers, as you can see, 17% for his stream here in this polling station. But besides that, the low numbers perhaps even cast a spotlight on the elected leaders as well as the candidates that are contesting this seat in terms of their voter mobilization skills and strategies that we have been able to see in the past as compared with the state of affairs now. And perhaps as the polling stations close by 5 in the evening, we'll have a better picture in terms of how low, how high that turnout will be as the counting of the votes begins. But besides that, earlier in the day, I had the opportunity to speak to 2 of the candidates, Kaleli Mutiso of NAK Kenya and Edith Vethi Nyenze of the Wiper Party, and they had this to say about the exercise so far.
Have been denied entry because of the appointment letter. The law is very clear, which says that a candidate can appoint an agent or the party can appoint an agent. For this reason, I have appointed agents as a candidate, but they are being denied in the various polling stations across the constituency. This is a major concern because we don't know what is happening, and it is only my candidates, it's only my agents who are being denied. So I hope the returning officer can take note of that and instructively tell the his officials that my agents have to be allowed because the law is very clear. They are just saying that I have to have a party agent form, and that is not the law. The law I know is that a candidate can issue an appointment letter to his agent, which I have done. Therefore, now I ask the returning officer whether there is another motive or there is something which I don't know, because we are following the law and the law is very clear. The other thing is that there is some issues which are coming to us, that this entry of my agents to the polling stations has another issue behind it. And my humble request to the returning officer is that we want fair and free election process. We have to respect the law, we have to promote a democracy, and it is my wish that the whole exercise goes smoothly without any hindrance of any sort.
Have you complained to the panel?
I have not, but my chief agent has gone to see him, because this practice now is now being seen in almost every other polling station, which is very serious offense to my agents.
Okay, are you confident that you'll win this seat?
Last time I was number 2, and I'm very positive that I'm going to win these elections, and I will beat my opponents hands down completely. I'm going to win it. I've gone round, I've heard people's sentiments, and they have said, we trust you, we know you, you keep your word, what you say is what you do, and you have a big picture, you have a big dream, and we are going to vote for you overwhelmingly.
So far, from what I've seen, it's, I can say that the exercise is free and fair, and the process is very smooth and very fast, and I like the organization. I like the way they've organized, IEBC has organized it.
The turnout at 22%, this being your polling station, and even in other stations that we have been to, numbers quite low. Are you worried, or perhaps why do you think that most of the residents have not turned out to participate in this exercise?
It's too early. It's just 9 a.m. So